Hello, welcome back. Let's quickly get to the next coloring style. For this coloring style, firstly, before we start, what we have to do is to duplicate our base color. So we can either use what we've done before and erase everything, or we just duplicate it and we start a new one. I must say this style is like an hybrid style. It's a combination of cell shade and adding some few tweaks here and there. So let's do this. For this, we'll be merging the layers all in one compared to how we separate it. You could do it the other way, but I just feel let's do it this way. And we'll be working with we'll start with the shadows. And why I'm merging this together is because I want to use my blending mode. So we'll use our shadow, select a purplish kind of color, and then we make a new layer. I will create a blend. I'll just use the hard light blending. We want to just use the purplish color, dark, and just use our multiply mode. You could adjust the shadow. If you don't like how it is, you can maybe reduce the opacity of the layer as we do. So you could just use your hue and saturate and change the color if you like. And for the lights, you select a color close to where we want to work on. For this, I will select something close to the arm color, like a bluish sort of, but much lighter. And once you select that color, we have to now use our gradient tool. So you want to use the gradient tool and just make a light gradient fill. Set your gradient so it doesn't reflect the background color, the foreground color, and just make it light. So this technique, actually you may have to add different layers of lights on top of the gradient. So we add another layer just to give it more detail. You can also add your highlight color as well. But let's work on other parts, so part of the arm. If you don't want to use the gradient, use your brush. Just lightly paint the color to look like a gradient. Lightly paint it. So most times you can use the brush too. It has a way it works, but you have to work with lower opacity, or you put your transfer mode. Your pen pressure will also have to be on. So you add different layers on top of it. So you see it's looking good. This technique have more layers of color compared to the flats, the cell shade, and it's mostly good for comic artists. So let's work on other parts of the body too. A little observation, you could see when applied, some places the edges look, where the light is, look very sharp. You could adjust that by using your smudge brush. Play around with the scatter so you get the right feel. You could try it, test it, undo, then see that you have the right setup. Most times I do this setup, but I get my brush gets scattered a lot. Maybe I do something else, or even on your app you may not have the best setting, so you have to, you can always go there and adjust it. So you try to use the smudge to soften it, use your strength a bit low, so just to make it blend well with the other parts around it. If the smudge is not working for you, some people use brush as well. You just slightly select the color closest to the edges, then you paint on top of it. You lightly paint on it, so it's gradually it just gives it that feel of blend. And if you want to leave it that way, you like it as hard as it is, it's fine. You can see a lot of people use the brush and paint slightly on it. And once that is done, we can move to our secondary colors and our highlights. You create a new layer and we select our brush. You select the kind of color you want. Maybe you start with this purplish color and just make it like a soft painting around. We're using a soft brush or soft round brush and not so hard. We're not making the edges to be hard, just slightly painting around the field so it has this nice mode like a gradient. We can also do the bounce lights. The bounce lights are, like we discussed, are lights that are coming from the materials around your colors when your main primary light hits it, so it has a way it bounces to the material surface. So always you do this bounce light on your shadows. The bounce light is always done on your shadows. Basically, secondary lights and all those lights are all, except maybe sometimes your rim or your highlights, they are always applied on your shadows. So let's go around and do for places we feel that is a bounce light. It has a way of giving it this extra 3D depth. On the chin, the lips, and even on the hair, your skin can bounce on it. So we are now adding the highlights. Just for this one, just spots of light is okay on some places, just to give it that extra shine. Another thing we can do now, or last thing we could do is for this technique, is actually to color our line arts. So we'll create a layer on top of our line. We click that layer. We select the harder color of the particular color reflecting our line. For instance, this arm, we select a darker metallic color and we'll just color the whole arm. For the body, the clothes, it's a green. We select a harder green. For the skin as well, we select the skin color, but much darker, and we color the line. The hair, we do the same, and we do for other places. So each part where the line is has a different color, as you can see. It has a softer way to give it more definition. Then we will do other things that we've done before. Just add our line, our color, and maybe add glow to it, so it looks much more shiny. And that's it for this part. The next part is the part 3. And thank you for watching this video. If there's anything you observation you see and there are other things you'd like me to cover or talk about, you can comment on the comment section, and also hit the like button and subscribe. Click the notification bell so you are notified when new videos like this come out. And until then, stay blessed, my friends. Thank you.